Hi, we are here for our second week update and garden tour, and I feel like I have just lived 9 lives, which is only funny because we have ended up with a cat. I am in eastern Kentucky, Appalachia, zone 6B. And it is finally warming up here. It was 90 degrees today and it was 88 degrees yesterday. And for the rest of the week, it's supposed to be, I believe, in the mid 80s. And at night, we're finally getting into consistent 50s and 60s. So I'm hoping to see some growth on some of these warmer weather crops. I usually try to make these videos 3 minutes so they're not too long. But this is just not going to fit into a 3-minute video because there has been so much to happen, some good, some bad. It's just been a really busy week. So I'll take you through the whole garden and I'll show you the things that we've added, update what we still need to do, and kind of give you an idea of how I am currently feeling about the garden for spring 2026. So we'll start at the front of the garden here with our cucumber plants. We have our pruners that I always have when I come into the garden, and we actually have a thermometer. Last year we had an issue with our crops sprouting, and then pretty soon afterwards they would just sort of shrivel up and die. And I thought that maybe it was our soil, but my husband actually troubleshooted and figured out that since we have black barrel beds, the soil was getting way too hot. It was getting above 100 degrees consistently. Day after day. And so we eventually added shade cloth, but it was just sort of too late for our beds at that point. It was too late in the season. And so this year, today, it has been the high of about 88 or 90 today and yesterday. And so the very top of our soil today is about 95 to 96. And the further down we go, the cooler it gets, which is very good. So this soil we have this year is more clay consistency, and so I think that is retaining moisture a lot better, which has also been a little bit of an issue until I figured it out, because some of our seeds rotted. So there has been a little bit of replanting going on, but it is retaining the moisture, which is good. And so we will add mulch eventually, and then we will add the shade cloth, and we shouldn't have the issue of our beds getting too hot this season. So we'll turn it around and look at what's coming up. So we have our potatoes coming up, all of a little bit of each. So we have red Pontiacs and Kennebecks. In this bed, all of our lettuce is still doing great. I replanted our nasturtiums today. These have come up. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. And with our cucumbers, last week I noted that we had cucumbers coming up, but I started looking at other people's gardens and reading about growing cucumbers, and realized that my plants are so small and they were probably putting all of their energy into producing those cucumbers rather than getting larger and growing all their foliage. So I need to add a better trellis for my cucumbers, and I actually have pruned off all of the cucumbers that had grown last week. I did just notice that there is another cucumber growing, but they look a lot healthier. It's sending out a lot of new growth. They're getting a lot taller. So I think it was the right move pruning all of those fruits off so that the plant focuses its energy on growing larger and supporting the plant longer into the season than just right now with these puny little plants. So today I actually planted some sunflowers, and we have had these little sprouts coming up that someone said is some type of flower. I'm not remembering, maybe morning glories. So I've been pulling those out. And then this, I don't know if you can see, like little grub right here. Go ahead and pick that up. So many grubs, and I'm not sure if these are good or not, but I feed them to the chickens. And right here I have replanted beans. We have some of our beans coming up. This one has been eaten, so something is chewing some of my crops. So we have replanted some of the beans, and some of the beans, I think, like right here, it was all mushy when I pulled it up, and so maybe it was getting too wet. Over here, again, I pulled a little worm off of this zucchini, but all of our zucchini is coming up. Again, I replanted beans all the way down because I could not find the seeds. I actually went digging and could not find the seeds. So something has either eaten the seeds or I missed it. And all of our zucchinis, though, are looking good, which is great because we eat a lot of zucchini. In these beds, all of our peas are coming up, which is really exciting. Snap peas. And then here, nasturtiums, again, not sure if I'm saying that right, but we replanted those today. Lettuce, all of my lettuce needs to be thinned, so I'll probably do that this week. Again, more flowers coming up. Watermelon is doing all right, hasn't really grown. This looks like some yellowing. I'll have to figure that out. Our pumpkins keep on going back and forth. Again, these bottom leaves are turning yellow. I keep cutting all of this because it keeps turning yellow and I just want it to get larger and grow. But the top here looks good and the bottom doesn't. So it's sort of consistent on both sides, and I'm not sure. There's got to be some fertilizing issue going on. So more bean plants coming up. Looks like this one just something ate it, or it just didn't come up. If you know about beans, let's see if I can get a better look at this. If you know about beans and can tell me if this is pests or if this is my soil, let me know. But I've replanted beans in these spots. Tomatoes haven't grown really at all, so I'm hoping this hot weather brings us some tomato growth. Tomato, again, same story. These are peppers, and something is nibbling on my pepper plants. I'm not sure if you can really see all this jagged pepper plant eating, whatever we want to call it. So I keep coming out here in the evenings to look for pests, and I have yet to find anything. So trying to figure out what is nibbling on my pepper plants. Marigolds, beautiful, clearly not keeping things away from my pepper plants. Our Danvers carrots are slowly coming up. So that's great. Over here, you can see lots of potato sprouts. Potato, another one of those morning glory things. Potato. So that's great. Maybe we'll get a good crop this year. This bed, again, something is sort of getting at our tomatoes, I think. But so this bed either had a chipmunk and or a bird get in it. They had scratched around all of our kale, which is why these little rings are here. And they had dug over here and eaten a squash. So that squash, this is my delicata squash that has come up, was actually over here, and I transplanted it to over there. And so I replanted beans in here today. And we're just sort of pruning our tomatoes, trying to encourage growth. And this is the little meter that I've been using, and I don't know about the pH and the light, but I know the moisture is pretty accurate, which is really cool. So as far as the chipmunks go and the birds, as you can see, we have not finished this job yet. We have added this bird netting all the way around the garden space. We actually watched a squirrel run down from our hillside here with a nut in its mouth and hop up onto our fencing, grab onto our fence post, and hop into one of our gardens. So this was the day after I found the chipmunk activity in this garden bed that I just showed you with the delicata squash. So after the chipmunk activity, I added coffee grinds around the perimeter of the garden, and then I sprayed peppermint oil around the perimeter of the garden, and I also added a bunch of cayenne pepper into the garden beds. And interestingly enough, the squirrel jumped into a garden bed and immediately jumped out of it. So I don't know if that was the cayenne pepper or not, or if maybe he saw me looking through the house window, because I look at the garden a lot, but that squirrel jumped right out. So anyways, we have to finish this bird netting job, because as you can see, it's drooping on my head, and it's also laying on top of these trellises that we'll need to grow things up. So this can't stay like that. So eventually, once our crops get a little taller, we will get to that. So I'll go through this bird netting and come over here to our tomatoes. So same thing. We have some browning going on with our tomatoes and some yellowing. Marigolds are blooming still. Again, like this shriveling up. Maybe I should have watered these today. Maybe I need to water them this evening. I will likely water them this evening. I think that there's an inconsistency of water going on with these bags, because there's just, you see this kind of like crumbling here. But anyways, our carrots in most of our beds are coming up. Very exciting. Our cilantro, I guess, is sort of already trying to bolt, so we need some shade cloth up. Same thing, we've got carrots coming up, kaleidoscope and Tucson carrots. Over here, one of our loofahs are doing good, and the other one is kind of yellow and white, so maybe fertilize, maybe water. I put sunflowers in here also today. And then over here, we have our radishes coming up, and again, just like little nibbling. There was a fly on that one, but it just seems like something is nibbling at my plants, and I can't figure out yet what it is. Loofah, also put sunflowers in there today. Some more yellowing on our cherry romas. Over here, we have carrots coming up, some more cilantro, some more weird tomato activity. Same thing here, carrots, weird tomato stuff. Our basil's looking a little bit better. I've been pruning it. More carrots, yay! More carrots. Then the last thing over here, this little guy, I'm gonna pull this one up. That cherry roma, or no, this is a San Marzano. Not looking good, never looked good. Gonna pull it up and put rosemary there. And then again, some weird stuff going on with our basil. A few more beds up here, little grow bags that I'll show. Kind of the same story with these. No chives yet, and these are actually doing a little bit better now that I'm down here looking a little closer, but they're in the shade. So I think that my other tomatoes are maybe just getting a little too hot, which didn't think tomatoes could do. We'll come over here to our last tomatoes. This one actually is looking pretty decent, and our basil is looking better over here. So, okay, I think that maybe things are getting too hot and not enough water. So I will modify all of that. And then it's so hot today. I have the 2 beds up front, and then I have actually started a bunch of more seeds also, and I've got all of these notes here because so much has happened. I wanted to make sure that I add all of the updates because it helps me, and then also if you're in this area or you're having similar issues with your garden, this might help you too. And that's pretty much all that has happened. We got the cat named Toshi. She was supposed to be a barn cat. She's very friendly. She's more like a domesticated house cat. But she's in confinement right now so that she learns that this is her home. And she was brought here to help us with the chipmunk issues. And though she has not had the opportunity to catch any chipmunks, I have not seen any chipmunks come up to the house. So I think that maybe just her presence is maybe going to be enough to keep things away from the garden. So last updates for these gardens in the main space. Really none of my herbs have come up. There's so many weeds coming up in this soil, in this bed here. A lot of this stuff is thyme and parsley, and I am not a skilled enough gardener, especially with herbs, to know if what is coming up is weeds or herbs. So we're sort of just waiting on that, and then yeah, after that we've got to fix some of these trellises. This one will need some more supports. Our delicata squash will need a new trellis that is halfway made, and we just have to finish it and put it up. And then I actually have also started more seeds 2 days ago, and I started thyme, parsley, cilantro, basil, more of the flowers, English lavender, more chives, and New Zealand spinach. So we got to mulch the garden, we got to add the shade cloth, we got to fix some trellises, but so far, fingers crossed, we have stopped our pest problem as far as animal pests, our rodent problem, chipmunks and squirrels. So I just have to figure out what the heck is eating my bell peppers. So we'll check on these beds up here at the front of the house, and then I will close this down. And if you watched the whole thing, thank you. I hope that you tag along and subscribe. And I hope that pretty soon I can show you some really beautiful harvests from this garden. All right, we've got our front of the house gardens here, and sort of same thing. My son actually got in here, and his two little footprints are my cilantro. And look at this, a tick right on my hand here, my lord. And so I know we have some things popping up in this garden, like these I believe are marigolds, and maybe that's cilantro or basil or something. I think I put something there. This basil has not grown at all. These pepper plants, same thing, being chewed on by something, but not as bad. This one has actually, these are actually growing more. So again, these beds don't get quite as much sun. So I think our garden is just getting too hot. Over here, again, I'm gonna butcher this word, nasturtiums. They're coming up, and it looks like this might be stuff coming up, but I have started my herbs again, and my oregano is taking off and just needs to be pruned back. So yeah, I've got this tick that I'm holding, disgusting. I need to kill it, but that's it. That's the update for now. I'm hoping that, you know, the chipmunks and the squirrels stay away. We have little baby chicks that are running around, and our chickens are going out more, so I'm hoping that they cut down on the ticks. I'll take you over here to see Toshi real quick. Hey, Toshi. How you doing? So, this is our new little cat. We'll see you next week. Bye.